The idea of this session is, well, the idea of the day is we get to do lots of networking around specific things, and this session is looking at working with children and in challenging circumstances. We've got 3 people that are going to speak today, and I've already pointed Ian out, so would you like to say a few words?
My name's Ian Barks, and I'm one of the area team leaders for one of the youth engagement service here in Reading. So we're one of the few council-run youth services left around the country because of all the cuts. The youth service sits within a wider team called the Children's Action Team, which is a multi-agency team. It's family workers, education and welfare workers. So we effectively funnel in lots of young people. We engage with young people in many different ways, and through those kind of various agencies we get to know these young people. So we get referrals of people in some quite significant challenging situations. We also get to meet young people through our work on the estate. So we have street work that goes on, so youth workers go out onto the streets and meet young people in the areas that they hang out at. So, I mean, an example of some of the work that we're currently doing would be, so there's a girls group that we run on a Tuesday night, which is obviously just for girls. It's about 10 to 15 young girls, 13 to 19, although it's probably more like 13, 15, 16-year-olds turn up every week, and they are quite a melting pot of young people, various different issues, from issues with challenges from their parents, for example, so their parents might be facing some significant issues in their life. There's a lot of poverty around on the estate. Young people often face a real lack of confidence. And so, with this group in particular, this is where we've started working with Rob and Readipop. It's been, well, we've had links with Readipop now for a good few years, and I think you probably agree, Rob, it's different. Every time we try something, it's completely different. We have to take a new approach to how we do that, because quite often, when you start engaging young people with some music, they're interested to a point. They'll pick something up, give it a bit of a strum, plonk a few keys on the piano, that kind of stuff. But if you're not careful, that interest will go very, very quickly. Their attention span seems to be very short, and they need a little bit of structure around that. But of course, if you then structure it too much, then you've got effectively a classroom situation, and they'll just do bowl. So I think young people will then, in those situations where they're not interested, they will present as being very challenging. And so what we've done recently is we had this ready-made group of girls who did initially show some interest in sort of forming a group, but I think that sort of waned a little bit, didn't it? And then we actually started the group session, so a group of young people who were interested could come in earlier and do their thing, with the hope that then other young people who attend the session at the normal time would then be drawn into that in challenging circumstances. It's about being fair, it's about being consistent, setting clear boundaries. One of the standard things we'll always do with a new group is, before we do anything, is set some, go through a list of boundaries, what you can do, what you can't do, what the action will be. If you break those rules, how are we going to deal with that? Is it 3 strikes and you then have to go somewhere else? Or but being really, really clear, but then also really making sure those boundaries are followed, because you will, that will become a problem. That you will have people challenging those boundaries, but it does give benefits in the end. Really, it's, a lot of listening, understanding where they're coming from, not being judgmental. It's those kind of techniques that we kind of employ with, whether it's music or whether it's just working with young people in various settings.